We have a few questions here about first dances and first dance song. Firstly, people want to know, can the actual band perform the first dance song instead of them just having a recording?
Yeah, certainly, yeah. If you let us know what kind of song you want, if you have any ideas, then we can totally ask the band and they'll perform it for you live. Often it will be like an acoustic version, which is always quite nice for the first dance.
Unless you're a proper, rock and roll couple and you really want to go for it, and I'm sure the band would be more than happy to do like an up-tempo thing.
Yeah.
I guess that's something that you have to be really aware of, is your song choice and what bands that you've booked.
Yeah.
So for example, if you've booked like a Motown band, for example, and you want them to perform Ed Sheeran or something, just make sure that they can do it on the instruments. Do you find you have to, when people are asking, just make sure it's realistic enough for the band before you put it forward?
Yeah, definitely. Just looking at like the instrumentation. So if you've got like, somebody that wants something that's got strings and piano in, and you've got a three-piece rock band, it might be hard to kind of translate that one.
They'll do their best, but at the end of the day, you need to be aware of what you're getting, and if it is such an important part of your day and you want it to sound a certain way, then a recording might be better, then playing it might be better. What are the benefits of having the band actually perform the first dance song instead of having a recording?
I think you just get so much more feel from the band. It's more of the emotive part of it as well. If you've actually got somebody in the room that loves performing and loves singing, then hearing that live is really special.
I guess it's great for the bands as well to be part of that moment. I mean, they're going to love playing at weddings anyway, but if they can play your first dance song, then it's even more special for them.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess another thing is that it's a good way to introduce the band for the night, because that's the first time they go on. So instead of you doing your first dance, then boom, here's the band. It can be a nice kind of segue into that happening.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool, okay. With the first dance song, somebody's asked, can they have a recording of the band doing the first dance song so they can choreograph a dance around it?
Okay. It depends on the band, I would say. A lot of the time they won't offer it, just because they'll leave it kind of till a few weeks before to learn it, just so it's fresh in their minds. A lot of the songs they would have done before and they would know really well.
Sure.
But it's always worth asking. The band might be, have a bit of time, and so do ask.
Cool. I think if you were gonna choreograph a dance to an actual song, it might throw off the band at some point if they're trying to go to certain moves. So that might be one where the recording might actually be the better thing, because you can rehearse it to however many times you want. So it's kind of, you have to decide what you want from it, I guess.
Definitely.
So we've got a question in. Someone wants some help picking their first dance song.
Okay.
I know this can be a bit tricky because it's a really personal thing.
Yeah.
What advice would you give? Do you have any suggestions for first dance songs and what's popular?
We have a lot of, the modern kind of songs, like the Ed Sheeran song.
Ed's not going anywhere anytime soon. He's always a safe bet.
He's always a trusty kind of first dance choice.
I mean, one of his songs is it's almost like they're written for a first dance. So it's absolutely perfect, and people are always going to love it.
Exactly, and it always goes down really nicely, and it sets the mood. But
yes, you'll find with a song like that, a lot of bands will already know how to play that. So if you ask, a band, can you play my first dance song, going back to the previous question, then if you tell them it's that song, they're going to be on it because it's in their set anyway, or something that they do.
Yeah.
What other tracks should we be looking at?
The James Arthur one, another modern one.
That's Say You Want Let Go, say...
Something like that, yeah.
He's a good lad, James. He's on the ball. Yeah. I guess if you want to be a little bit alternative and a bit quirky, just throw something in that's to do with your personality.
Yeah.
Your first dance song doesn't always have to be kind of pleasing for everyone. After all, it's your first dance. So if you have a song that you love, or that's to do with your relationship or anything like that, I guess it's something you can throw in.
Yeah, exactly. Always, make suggestions and, pick something that means something to you, and the band can, find a way of doing it.
Have you ever had any really weird or different first dance song requests that you've never had before?
We've had a lot of kind of pop song requests, so maybe like an odd kind of Britney song that might not translate well on guitar, but
Hit me, baby,
each
one more
to their
time
own.
for the first dance. I can't imagine that. That's really cool though. I guess that if you want to stand out, that's the way to do it though, right?
Exactly,
and I guess if you tell the band, can you play, Britney Spears for our first dance? I'm like, yeah, cool, we'll do that, that'll be fun.
We had another inquiry today for a mosh pit style first dance.
Where is
to
this
go
wedding
completely
at?
the other way.
We need to get an invite to
I know,
that.
actually, it sounds cool.
That sounds really fun. Cool, okay, that's some cool ideas to throw forward then. Cool.